Coming up on Popmuckers, the Tonight Show torch is passed. A not-so-vague hint about vaguebooking. Olympic sports we would actually watch. And this just in. Vladimir Putin has announced that the Sochi accommodations are only 1 month away from being completely ready for the 2014 Winter Olympics.
You are listening to the Popmuckers Comedy Podcast. And here is your host, Chris Cowan.
Hey, everybody, and welcome once again to yet another episode of Popmuckers. As you heard by the professional voiceover artist, my name is Chris Cowan, and joining me yet again are...
Chris Quant.
Nate Henderson.
You guys are so professional, you don't even need a professional voiceover artist to introduce you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This is episode 20, brought to you February 19th, year of our Lord 2014. And I'm stoked. I'm stoked about this episode. I think it's going to rock.
So
That's
good.
just my personal opinion.
I think that's a valid opinion.
Does that seem...
We've got
okay?
ourselves properly pumped with some pre-show music. We're ready to go.
And
Yes.
some pre-show cookies.
That's
Yes.
right, buddy.
And
Nicely done.
Some pre-show worrying if Nate was going to get here on time.
Yeah.
It's going to make it.
That's all right, Nate. You have responsibilities that take up your time just before this, huh?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Yeah.
I tutor the youth of America.
Wow, makes it sound so noble.
It's definitely not.
If that doesn't depress you, then
That's right.
Nothing will.
If that doesn't get me in a fine right mood to laugh and crack up, then what will?
Yep.
Nate, we laugh to keep from crying. Just
That's
remember
right.
that.
That's our motto.
I kind of mix laughing with crying. It's a hybrid. It's called lying.
Yeah, but that's almost...
Well done. Did you just make that up?
I did. It just
Good. That's
the
good.
pieces when the piece it's magic. It
comes
just
together.
happens. It's radio magic.
Oh, man.
So let's kick things off with weekly updates, for which I have no intro sound. Nate, you've had a rough day. Do you care to kick things off at all?
Oh, it's
and
nothing I
share?
need to share with the podcast.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
fair
we
enough.
want to keep everything light. Let's keep it light and fun and fluffy.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Quant, what you got? You got anything for your weekly update? You can kick things off.
Well, as you may or may not know, I live out in the woods where
No.
mankind has dared to forage, a homestead.
Yep.
Walked out of my front door the other day, and staring me right in the face was a raccoon. A raccoon, gents.
Sweet.
Nice.
Let me tell you, a raccoon in real life, a little bit bigger than driving by it at 60 miles an hour in your
Yeah.
car. If you've
Or
ever
driving
driven by-
over it at
or
70.
driving over it at 70.
Was it
yeah.
a substantially large raccoon?
It's like a very large cat, and that's
Really?
Yeah, and then it stood up.
See, that seems like abnormally large for a raccoon.
It was huge.
Okay.
It was huge. Well, and
I
especially
don't
when
think
you walk
raccoons
out.
are supposed to be that large.
When you walk out your front door and you don't expect to see one too, and you kind of almost step on it, you're like, "Oh, hey there, buddy, how's it going?" And so I tried to maybe make loud noises, like maybe it would run away. And then all I can think of is rabid raccoon.
Quant saw an oddly spotted coyote. I just don't have the heart to tell him.
Is it a?
It was a small bear.
It was
Yeah,
a
it sure
small...
wasn't a panda.
Quant saw a bear cub. How's it going, you little rascal?
Hey, we got a new pet. Let's bring him inside. So first of all, that was interesting. And then when I attempted, if you don't know, they're nocturnal. And for those
Yes.
of you who don't know what nocturnal is, that means they wake up at night and they go to sleep during the day.
Thank you for explaining that.
There's the lesson. Nate, you can take that to the young people of America that you
Wow,
tutor.
I'm going to share that with them.
I don't know that they would know that.
That's a little. That's a gem.
So to see a
there.
raccoon out in the broad daylight, not such a good thing. So I'm trying to make noises. Maybe he'll walk away. Doesn't walk away. Just kind of looks up at me, looks down, looks back up, puts his head in between his paws on the ground like he's just sort of given up on life.
Wow.
And
You found a suicidal raccoon.
I found a suicide.
Wow.
Cowan, that's truer than you know.
The sad part was Quant obliged his wishes.
It was an assisted suicide.
Quant did not, because Quant at that point realized just how far disconnected we are from nature now. Because in generations past, the dad of the house probably would have dealt with the problem and just taken care of it.
Usually.
What do I do? What's up, animal control? I'm inside my house.
Gosh, you're in the freaking forest and you're calling animal
Dude,
control.
there's a
You had a shovel at your disposal.
there's a raccoon right outside my front door, and the guy he went into straight serious mode.
Really?
Like,
I'm sure.
This is a beast bringing disease. He's like, have any domestic pets been in contact with this raccoon? I'm like, sir, this raccoon would have my domestic pet for lunch.
Have
My
they
little
been
chihuahua.
within 20 yards of
Yeah.
your family
Yeah.
members?
Exactly. So he's like, okay, well, don't send any pets out there. Keep everybody away. We'll send somebody right out. So a person comes out,
Jeez.
and while I was waiting, I did what any concerned person would do. I went out and took a picture of the raccoon with the Instagram pan.
Did you really?
Hashtag Instagram pan. I
You
did. Thank you,
son
Nate.
of a-
It was for you.
Is there really a picture of the raccoon in
I
the
exploited a sick raccoon.
That is awesome.
With the Instagram pan.
pan? Wow.
And about an hour and a half later, no joke, the lady, girls can do this too. It's equal out there. Animal control agent shows up. And while we distracted the kids,
Cowan is trying so hard not to interject with something right now. It's probably
he
best.
really-
saving it.
Yeah,
I'm
he'll
saving
save
it.
Probably
He'll
best.
save it. No, it's
I'm sorry. I just noticed that like a very awkward shift in body language. We just said that women are equal. I don't agree with that one little bit.
pregnant and in the kitchen. Dispatched the raccoon to a better place.
Wow.
The raccoon was blown away in my.
Really? So what did he bring out? Or what did she
brought
bring
out
out?
the chaboom
She shot
Shot
the
it.
raccoon.
right in front of
Just
the
a
house.
full on, just 9 mil or just.
I'm sure it was probably a 22, but
So was the
Dude.
raccoon was like full on sick? You're
yeah.
sick?
Oh yeah, yeah. When it looked at like eyes glazed over, it wasn't moving.
Was it
Just-
foaming?
It wasn't foaming. I kind of, and I gave this thing a wide berth, mind you.
You know, I
So
gotta
I'll-
say,
Yeah, go
no,
ahead.
I'm
No,
sorry.
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say it's a good thing they took out the raccoon. I guess you'd say mercifully, kind of, because after the shame of being in an Instagram pan photo, I'm surprised the raccoon didn't grab the pan out of your hand and just start whacking his own forehead with it, hoping he would end it quickly.
yeah, at that point, I don't think he had any idea what was going on.
Okay, I'll cut you a little bit of slack if the raccoon was sick. But when you're telling this story, I mean I got you live in a forest and you see a raccoon and you call and have a girl shoot it for you. You live in the forest in nature amongst wildlife.
I do.
And you're like, "Oh my gosh, there's wildlife in the forest. Somebody do something. Animal control."
I pay taxes for.
my god!
That's what I pay taxes for, so I can be removed from
Wow.
dealing with these things.
Born on a mountainside in Auburn Hills.
No, I was laughing a bit. Like my grandpa would probably hang his head in shame. Like,
Oh my god.
boy, just go out and
Dude.
deal with it.
You could have had a genuine coonskin cap had you
know.
just
I thought about
manned up
that.
and
I
taken
thought
care
about
of
that.
business, man.
Yeah.
I thought about that. I was like,
Man.
man, I missed a chance for my own coonskin cap.
Dude,
Yeah, you see me.
one that
shaking
you
my-
fashioned with your own 2 hands and a butter knife. I know nothing about
Davy
the wilderness.
Crockett, I am.
Yeah, he was British.
That sort of flies in the face of Davy Crockett.
That's right.
Hello,
Have a
my
Cockney
name's
accent.
Davy. Davy Crockett.
You know, all foreigners have British accents.
That
He's
is
from Texas,
blasphemy.
so- Burner.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that's
Wow.
Rabid Raccoon
Okay.
at
Okay.
Quant Homestead.
Nice.
So my weekly update is I recently discovered that my youngest child, Connor, has magical powers. That is the only possible explanation. He has some sort of like disintegrating ray that he can fire at stuff.
Dude, my
Yours too.
daughter has the exact same ability. I'm not joking.
I know.
Whoa.
She can dematerialize stuff at will, and I
Yes.
don't understand. I've never found the remote control
Yes.
ever again. It's like I hand her something, and then it just goes into this black hole vortex that I don't know where the output is. It's got to be like in Oklahoma or something.
If you find it, please tell me, because my remote control is missing as well.
Yes.
It's gone.
Yeah, she's never visited your house, though.
2 remote controls. We're missing the only remote control we had for both of our Apple TVs, and we're missing our universal remote. Completely gone. And then my wife hands him a...
both of his Apple TVs.
I know. I sound like such a 1%er when I say that.
What's the matter with you?
Both of my Apple TVs, not just one.
A 60-inch flat screen. I have to walk up to it and turn it on now manually.
Expensive.
All he's doing is adding to the level of pretentiousness. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
And then my wife, and we know he hides stuff, and then my wife hands him something else today and is like, "Where did you put it? Why is it gone?" And I'm like, How have you not learned that he is a black hole when it comes to anything you put in his hand? You will never see that again. I'm afraid to hold his hand because I don't know.
For the fear that a digit's just going to...
I'll probably wind up whatever strange dimension that those remotes have been transported to.
No joke. I was sitting at the dining table and I handed my daughter a sheet of stickers, and I don't know how she did it. 1 second she had the sheet in her hands, and then I swear to you, I mean, it was just like... And I started freaking out because I was like, "You're practicing the dark arts,
witchcraft."
Yeah, and it was only because like the sticker sheet had caught a particular draft. I'm not joking, and had sailed under the table and skidded like across the other side of the room.
It's like the feather from Forrest Gump.
Exactly. Yeah. I frantically looked for that sticker sheet for the next couple minutes because I was like, there is no way you are doing this. There's no way I've lost my mind.
Toss her in the swimming pool. Do you float?
She's like, Dad, nothing here. Nothing here.
At the stage.
I know. All of a sudden, she just like blows her nose, and out comes the sticker sheet. It's like, no, she's a magician. I don't know how she does it.
I've looked at every conceivable location.
Oh, I miss my remote. I had that perfectly programmed for our entire set.
I live in a house that is less than 600 square feet. I have turned this place upside down. This remote would take up a quarter of the room where I live. I cannot find the TV remote, and this has been in the last week and a half.
Yeah.
Oh, the volume's up too high. Hang on. Doop, doop, doop. Tap, 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 tap on. Dang it. Tap, tap on the TV.
Yeah,
that's such a hard life we lead.
It is. I've now
shot a raccoon. Did I mention that?
I've had to resort to using multiple remotes.
Yeah, I know.
That's ridiculous.
Rough life.
Now I got to use 2 or 3 different remotes to get the job done, and that's just unsatisfactory.
It's ungodly.
Well, until I order a universal one from Amazon, but that's beside the point.
Man. Yeah.
It's ungodly. It's unchristian.
I'm glad you brought that up, though, because I thought my child was the only one that apparently was dabbling in the magic. So
maybe they're in league. I don't know. They've started a coven.
They're in the same guild.
Maybe we're Muggles and they're,
my gosh,
little Harry Potter. We don't even know.
Yep.
Cool. Nate, you got anything for the weekly update?
I'm happy to piggyback onto yours, buddy. I thought we were doing a pop drop. Like we were all agreeing on a thing, and then
we are.
We're still doing it. Okay, but we're still doing weekly updates.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're doing weekly update. It's so the Pop Mocker segment.
It's kind of like, hey, how you doing?
Has evolved.
Right.
It has evolved. The
show is constantly evolving.
A single cell organism.
Yeah.
Into a weekly updates, just kind of a personal updates kind of segment.
Kind of how you doing? How you feeling?
Yeah, how you doing?
How are things
It's more
going?
therapeutic.
Yeah.
And then Pop Mockers, where we have one topic and we each take turns commenting on it.
That's awesome.
Sound good?
Yeah, good on your meeting, guys. All right. Hands in the middle. Let's go, team. Here we go. Right? Nope. Okay. Hey, Nate.
Hey, those are the fingers that could have fashioned a coonskin cap. Could have is the operative word.
But didn't.
How did you not come away with coonskin? You are going to be regretting that to your
you are.
day.
Yeah.
All right.
Pop Drops, the segment I've already defined.
So this week's topic it's really a moment in history, and that is Jimmy Fallon taking over the Tonight Show.
Yes, indeed.
Originally, how many years ago was it that it was supposed to be Conan?
Oh.
And
I'd
then,
say, couple of...
What,
well, no.
2009, 2010?
Was it that long ago?
It was a couple of years.
I think it might have been
3 or 4 years ago,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I was bummed because I'm a Conan fan, frankly.
I still remember the opening sequence of him waking up in New York, realizing, oh no, and this is entire thing of him running across the country.
That's right.
All the way
That's
to
right.
Los Angeles.
Yeah,
I've never forgotten that.
I was really stoked that he was going to get the Tonight Show, and then, but I was still very glad that he got his own show on TBS. So
interesting thing. I don't know if you guys. It's on Netflix. There's a whole documentary of that in between.
Saw it.
Did you see it?
Saw
yeah.
it.
So
Great,
I don't know if
great
you've seen it.
documentary.
No.
Basically, he was contractually obligated after he went off to the Tonight Show.
That's
that
right,
He
yeah.
could not be on TV. He couldn't appear anywhere. And so this is like pretty quick after it happened.
Yeah, very quick.
They did a documentary of what he decided to do, and he decided to take his
The road
whole
show.
on the road.
Yeah.
It did like
It's
40
awesome.
cities. But it's interesting because you see this guy that's just, man, if there's a low, like, man, just
Yeah.
kicked in the
Oh,
junk.
yeah.
And you kind of, it's a pretty real, honest thing, but it's actually, it's a
you
good
see,
watch.
You
if
see
ever
how
see it.
he just operates. You see how he operates under pressure, and just like how he just gathers his group together and just does it. And
That's
it
good.
was a really good
watch.
documentary.
So that was a bummer, but
Yeah.
hey, he came out on top. He's doing
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last thing on
I was
Conan.
surprised that he wound up being on the Trinity Broadcasting
That's true.
system, but
Values
yeah.
didn't really align,
Yeah.
but
I did like the joke that he cracked recently about the Olympics, and it was kind of a shot on Jay, like when Jay retired.
that's what I was thinking.
what was it?
Where he basically said, NBC will be airing the Olympics. This is a big deal. You know, they'll actually feature somebody who's capable of passing the torch.
I did see that.
That was good.
That was a good shot.
That's a good one.
All the other late night hosts were, saying their congrats to Jay and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and that was all he had to say about it. It was
Yeah.
fantastic.
That was good.
So-
That was good.
Anyway, but yes, Jimmy Fallon. I watched on Hulu.
Did you watch the first episode?
We watched a lot of the first episode. Yeah.
Okay, so I was watching it, and I don't know if this is the one thing that stood out to me. So,
Yeah.
pretty big thing. He's building it up. Has U2 as the musical guest on.
Oh, wow. That's pretty-
And
pretty
so
awesome.
they decide, okay, we're going to go big, right? So the first song, their opening song, they do on top of 30 Rock, on top of the building up there,
Oh, yeah.
like
Yeah.
70 stories up. And so
Right
I'm
above
watching
Alec
this.
Baldwin.
What's that?
Right above Alec Baldwin.
Right above Alec
and
Baldwin.
Trey.
Yeah. And so they're up there, and they have like Jimmy Fallon does the intro, and there's like a crowd of people right in front of the stage, and the band's all there, and Bono walks out, and you're like, gosh, that looks a little cramped up there. And there's people jumping up and down, and they switch to this one shot, and I kid you not, it's tight on Bono's face, and then the camera pulls back, and it goes over like 5 people's heads, and then all of a sudden it's just over the edge of the building. And you're, it's like 70 stories down. And you're like, take me back. Like, seriously,
Holy
the camera
cow.
swung out over the edge of the building.
Wow.
And you're thinking, one misstep. And, like, it looked like.
Which
like,
the cameraman was right on the edge.
well, I think it was a crane camera,
Okay,
but they're
yeah, yeah,
swinging it out over the edge of the building, and it looks like if a strong
you
wind
don't
came
think
up,
he
it would.
jumped off the edge. Of
I
the
think he
building.
did. I think
Now,
he was
see, that
technically-
would make the first episode all
one
the more, all the more
one
amazing.
misstep by the edge, and he's back off the other edge. One fan jumps too high.
Question. If a cameraman just accidentally bailed, do you think he'd remain professional to the bitter end and just
keep the shot in focus as he's
just
going down?
film as he descends? Just like, at least I'll be known for my professionalism for the next
Dedication to
10
the art,
seconds.
yeah.
Maybe they'll keep me in the credits at the end.
Yeah.
In memory of. Oh my gosh, it was. I actually got sweaty palms watching the performance
Yeah,
because they were
I-
constantly like swinging off the edge of the building, then coming back. And,
Yeah, I didn't catch U2's performance. They performed 2 songs or one song?
I saw the one. I didn't
yeah.
see a second one, but
So.
it was good. It was a good.
I saw some of the
I always skip the band.
Yeah,
That's you too.
yeah. I saw
Actually,
the,
I always skip the show. So
Catch highlights.
I saw the Jimmy stuff. Some of the Jimmy stuff was really funny. So
Yeah, I think he's good. I think
yeah,
he'll do.
I think he's gonna do it.
I've always enjoyed late night. So
It was a traditional like warm up, like, hey, this is me, this
Hey,
is
Mom
my
and Dad,
band,
Mom and
got
Dad
my
up in the
parents
audience,
and
how's
the
it going?
thing, and
I think he'll do well.
Yeah.
I think he'll do well.
I like the thing he did with Will Smith. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, evolution of hip hop.
The evolution of
dance.
hip hop
That was
dance.
good.
I didn't see it.
He actually had a good bit where he said, and to my friend who said I would never make it as host of the Tonight Show. You owe me $100. And then it starts with like Robert De Niro comes out and puts $100.
Puts $100. He's got a lot of people coming out.
Tracy Morgan came out. Mariah Carey,
Mike Tyson,
all these people just come. And then it ends with Stephen Colbert like with just a bucket full of pennies and just dumping it on his desk. It was a good payoff. It was pretty good.
It was well done.
I think he's got a good shot at this.
Cool.
He's going to do well.
Well, good. I'd rather Jimmy Kimmel. I think Jimmy Kimmel's my favorite late night.
Yeah, but like he's kind of where Conan was almost, where he's after Letterman.
Yeah,
isn't he? He's after Letterman, so he attracts the later night kind of more hip crowd. Where it's gonna be interesting for Jimmy because Jimmy kind of had a hipper crowd a little bit.
Fallon, yeah.
And then he's sorry.
Switching to the
I guess we better do last names, right? Yeah, Jimmy Fallon had kind of a hipper crowd. Now he's kind of attracting the age group where it's much more middle age that actually stay up to see the show.
I think a lot of people will follow him though. He's
Conan did. Yeah, Conan brought that too. Yeah, Conan brought all of his late night hip stuff to Leno, and a lot of people were like, what is this?
Jimmy Kimmel, I heard he did a thing the other day where he asked.
This doesn't look like Johnny Carson.
I know. Where's the juggling dogs?
Where's that Middle Eastern fellow? Read the cards with his mind.
Kimmel did this thing where they asked people on the street, and they asked about Franklin Roosevelt just died. Did you see his death? And people are like, oh yeah. And the interviewer asked, did you follow him on Twitter? Oh yeah, I loved him on Twitter.
Loved him.
It was so good.
You think it was unprofessional? The jokes he made about President Obama.
Yeah. It's just hilarious.
I love it when he just asks straight ignorant people questions, and then just the line of BS they'll give for
I love it.
Just to try and cover themselves.
I don't know. I think that's starting to get old to me because I'm kind of starting to think, you know what? If somebody stuck a camera in my face and asked me a super stupid question, I'd probably give them a super stupid answer.
Oh, I'm right
like,
with you.
I'm going to be on freaking Jimmy Kimmel tonight. Yeah. I don't care.
So you think people are acting very well? Just giving stupid answers. You don't think people are legitimately that stupid?
I think to some extent. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe
maybe you have to interview.
My faith in humanity is much too strong.
Maybe. Well, that's for sure. But but I think if you interview 100 people, you're bound to get like 20 idiotic answers, and that's probably what they do. I'd imagine. I would hope that they have a ton of footage on the cutting room floor because they're like, that's not funny. They're just smart people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to see the outtakes at some point.
It's good.
Alrighty, moving along.
Why do they call it jumbo shrimp? I'm bored at home, just clipping my toenails. Anybody want to do anything tonight? I totally love strawberries.
Going swimming in my new Speedo. I know you guys are jealous. Hello.
Anybody want to join my mafia?
Facebook Police. This, of course, is the part of the show where we issue social media citations. And our first segment today is a submission from one of our listeners, Isaac Chandler. And so here's what Isaac sent us. So some girl on his friends list, I would assume. This was their post. Would you stop? ? That was her post in entirety. What do we call that?
Let's go with vague booking for
vague
100,
booking.
Alex.
Yes, that is a prime example.
That is vague booking. Vague booking, of course, is when you post an ambiguous post with the sole intention of getting people to ask about it.
Something I just learned about thanks to this podcast several podcasts ago.
So a couple of people posted, and then Isaac posted.
I like the first response, I gotta say. Just the guy pretty much wanted nothing to do with vague booking, so it's just like, good. No.
Yeah. And then the next person, just a question mark. And then Isaac put a somewhat confusing response here. He said, yeah, I knew you'd figure out it was me eventually. I figured he'd done you enough harm, so I painted him pink, stuffed a ham sandwich up his nose, and threw him in the Pizza Hut bathroom, gagged, bound, and covered in butter. But for the record, this was only the second time. It's not like I'm always doing it. Cut me some slack. Do I have a problem? Maybe. But I can get over it on my own. Thank you very much. So I don't know the relationship here, but sounds like Isaac is familiar not only with the vague booking offender, but also probably with maybe her boyfriend. I don't know. And I don't know. Isaac, that comment sounded like maybe a veiled threat.
I like
your
where
boyfriend.
I like where this conversation is going now.
Anyways,
Shows a lot of thought.
yeah. It just struck me that way. So so then she said, "Ha ha ha! What, Isaac?" And he says, "I am oh so subtly telling you to stop vague booking."
Boom.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So
Your face.
excellent
I
job there.
Really would like to start doing that. Why have I not started just playing along with people's vague booking?
Oh yeah,
You should.
yeah. That's the
It's
way to do
a
it.
genuine opportunity because I swear I see one of them a day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
At least one a day.
And all it is, I mean, okay, technically all of Facebook is cries for attention, but really when it's a vague book, you are sort of, it's that, what would you compare it to? There's like this whiny, like infantile, like that thing where somebody says something that they don't explain just so that somebody will ask about it.
Yeah. And it's not so much like a whiny tone. I mean, it kind of is to me, but it's just one of those things where it's such a desperate grab for attention
Yeah.
and a focus on, here's my problem. I want everybody to know about it.
Yeah, exactly.
It just drives me crazy.
Or the worst is when they post a vague book like, "Oh, I wish this would just stop," and then people ask about it, and then they're like, "Oh, I don't even want to talk about it."
Oh, I know. The ones that
Why did you put it on Facebook?
The ones that just, they either lead you on forever until they act like they're sacrificing something
Right.
to let you know what they're
Yeah.
talking about. Or exactly, the people that never fess up. And you're like, you know what? Unfriend.
I
Yeah,
love
seriously.
the instant sympathizers too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, if only I hadn't ... Oh, sweetie, it's gonna be okay. It'll be all right. Psalm 23.
Yeah.
What?
Somebody,
What?
somebody's gonna Jesus juke at some point, and and just
I did a double take. What?
Jesus juke.
Not Jesus Jews. Jesus
Right,
Jews.
right.
Juke.
I was about to be like, yeah, wait, what?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
All right, so I got another one here. I don't know if I'm turning myself in or what, but my wife posted this meme, and it's a inspirational mountainside forest with the caption, "The only difference between a good day and a bad day is your attitude." And I posted as a comment, "Tell that to Bruce Wayne here," and it's a picture of Bruce Wayne as a child with his dead parents.
Oh, man.
It's hardcore.
I did not see that in advance. That was good.
So there you go. I actually
I was gonna say,
I do agree
so
with the sentiment, sweetie,
Well-
but I just I had to. I had to.
What if a hurricane comes, wipes out your entire family along with your job and everything
Yeah.
else? Can you wear a frown that day, or is it, no, mister, you better end that day with a smile? Smile. That's what's going to turn this day around.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
And Christopher Battles in the chat room says, "And Chris is sleeping on the couch."
Oh, that was going to happen no matter
Yeah,
what.
that's true. That's true. I've actually
That's a whole other weekly update.
yeah, I've actually got a. They were talking about this on another podcast, but there's actually a couch that fits in a doghouse, and then that's where I sleep at night. I'm both on the couch.
So tiny.
Yeah, it's a real thing. You can find it. All right, moving along.
I'll just get on SkyMall and find that.
Weekly topic. This, of course, is the part of the show where we choose a topic on a weekly basis, and it is up for discussion.
Message for you, sir.
say that's perfectly timed. And there's the topic right now.
So this week's topic is Olympic sports that would actually make us want to watch the Olympics. Have you guys been watching the Olympics this year?
Gotta say no.
Yeah, me
don't,
neither.
I don't have a way to watch it, so
That's true.
unless
I don't
Netflix
really.
streams it, I don't
Does
have it.
Hulu stream recaps? I don't think
I
so.
don't know. NBC might do some recaps,
Yeah.
but I think you have to have cable in order to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried it. Yeah, no, if you have a cable provider, you can stream it, but
All I heard was like that America was sucking and that Bob Costas had some eye disease or something.
he's got
That
some
was pretty
terrible
much-
blinding,
some
oozing
terrible blinding
disease.
oozingness that they had to bring in. What was it? Somebody, Katie Couric for or
pretty sure he had
something.
an eye transplant.
Meredith Vieira. Anyway,
Oh dear Lord.
Ryan Seacrest.
have you been watching?
I have not.
Okay.
No. And you know why?
Because it's the Olympics.
Because Russia won't let the gays play?
Because exactly no. Because it doesn't have enough sports that I would want to watch.
Well, of course.
It doesn't have sports that are geared towards me.
Of course.
Mr. Lazy couch sofa guy who's trying
Not
to
enough
find,
cartoon drawing
Sofa
going on there.
man.
trying to find an Olympic sport that I can relate to. So it's really shameful. I
More
think
cartoons.
it's semi-racist
Yeah.
against me individually.
Racist.
Just go with it.
Okay.
Just go with it.
Okay.
The Chris
fair enough.
Cowan race.
Yeah.
That's a thing. That's a thing. So I put this question out there. So before we get into our individual submissions, I did put this question out there on the interwebs, and I got a couple responses. So,
Oh, nice.
Jeremy Haas or Haas,
What's up, Jay Haas?
he came up with dwarf tossing. Is something he would
Insensitive.
watch.
Now, are we
as an Olympic
are we
sport.
speaking strictly winter or summer, or can it be any of the above?
I was thinking mainly winter,
Yes.
but
We're in the
I'm-
Olymp-
Olymp-
course.
yeah, we're
You
in
know,
the Winter Olympics.
That's kind of what I was going for.
Yeah.
too.
Sure.
I think dwarf tossing is probably something you.
Well,
can
I think it'd be done year round, friend.
I think as long as it's the little people are willing participants.
That is kind of required.
It's
Yes.
it's all good.
Or not.
There goes the little people portion of our audience.
There you go.
Sorry.
But I think really any sport where you're tossing human beings is something that I would watch, whether they're little people or not.
All consensual.
As long as yes.
As long as it's all consensual.
Well, actually, no. I think that might make it more entertaining. you know, Russia's got people locked up. You just have them.
sure.
Russia has no problem violating human rights. Just
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fine. Are you guys?
Have you ever been familiar with the show Wipeout? That's
Yes.
You told me about it. I sadly have never.
I would
ever
be okay
watched it.
if all Olympic sports were replaced with
Yeah.
the Wipeout obstacle course.
giant. Yeah.
And all commentators were replaced by the commentators on
That's
that show.
awesome.
You fall
Basically, I
through
just want to
ice.
watch Wipeout 24/7.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
What do you got, Cowan?
And another submission from Matt Messer is electronic sports. So he would like to see video games as an Olympic sport.
Dude, right
So-
there.
I think.
I mean, I wouldn't even.
Well,
get
you know,
into the semifinals,
here's the
but-
thing. At some point that's going to be the future.
Mm-hmm.
Is some parent of an Olympian will be like, "Oh my gosh, these real sports are too dangerous.
Yep.
We need to replace them with electronic sports where everybody's nice and safe in the
Yep.
comfort
No, you
of
talk
their
about
home."
that, but I was actually talking to Matt about this. He's a gamer guy, and there are actually in Korea stadiums full of people that
Oh,
watch.
dude, you don't have to
gaming.
tell me. I know.
These guys are paid. Like,
Yeah.
they're sponsored.
No, they are
to
literally.
game.
They will have two people at computers in an arena full
Yeah,
of
but, I mean,
10,000 people, and they will have TV monitors hooked up so that you could see where each player is going.
Yeah,
with
but it's
what,
different
and-
when it's Kim Jong Un forcing you to do it.
No, this is South. This is perfectly legit.
This is where they have
It's
a
really
choice.
legit. No, in Korea, you are
loser?
like in Korea, you get more women if you are good at certain video games than if you are just
Really?
whatever, a stud, good at sports or whatever. They don't care if you are good at a video game. Yeah, it's
Research that.
They have video game. I tried. They have video game characters on their Doritos bags. These guys take video games extremely seriously.
That is pretty.
Not to mention these tournaments. I'm sorry, you can win $10,000 to $20,000.
Yeah, the
I'm
payoff is
okay
a pretty
with
good
it.
payoff.
Yeah,
That's that's chump
Nice.
change. Have
Well,
I ever
Gangnam
won that
Style.
amount? No.
Yeah,
awesome.
that's true.
All right, and so I've got a couple submissions of my own. So
We're gonna take turns, or we?
Yeah. Do you want to take? Let's take turns.
Take turns for
turning.
them.
Yeah. Okay. So this one might be somewhat obvious, but I still like it. Figure skating.
Okay.
To the death.
Please explain.
Am I right? I mean, okay. Think
Please
about
explain.
What is potentially, if misused, what is the most dangerous Olympic?
Well, that's why they don't
accessory.
do cartwheels at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's your
Tie a couple of wrists together, and then they just kind
So
of...
if you had two figure skaters out there doing their own thing, but they were also trained in skating martial arts.
Ninja figure skaters.
Yes.
There it is.
And they had to fight each other while dancing, and they would be rated both on the graceful dances, the content of the dances,
You're bringing the Colosseum in Rome.
but also
Figure skating.
how disfigured the other person is at the end of their routine.
Release the rabid penguins.
Better yet. On the walls would be a various assortment of weapons, and the severity of the weapon you can gain access to depends on if you can land a triple southpaw.
I like it.
If you can do
And
that,
it just gets thrown out across
if you
the
can
ice.
do that, then they slide it out, and you are gold.
It's like a Tanya Harding's dream. So
Oh my gosh. I'd watch.
Zamboni.
I'd
eating up
watch.
blood.
I gotta say, I'd watch.
I told you. I told you.
Jeez.
Holy cow.
All right, who's got one?
I've got, I'd like to see bobsledding, but with a twist, literally.
Sledding
like 'em
on someone named Bob.
on Bob with a twist. I'd like to see some corkscrews in there. Throw a couple of loop-de-loops.
In which event?
In bobsledding.
Oh, in bobsledding.
Oh, come on, man.
Nice.
You get a couple of full-on 360 loops. Might take a couple of tries to get them to actually get the turn right.
That's true.
Throw some
I like
corkscrews through. Come on.
That's true.
Come
No,
on.
that's good.
Let's make this adventurous.
Maybe a couple leaps over like alligator pits or something.
And if
Oh,
they,
don't take mine.
Oh, sorry.
Uh-oh. All right. Yeah. And if they had nitrous in it to make it go even faster.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I
then
like it.
crashes would be death. But again,
Well, they
it all
are
comes
anyway.
back to
So
death. Yeah.
at least this
So,
way it'd be more extravagant.
Yeah. Nate.
My method, my events encourage people to give it their best. I think that's how I look at it. That's how I was looking at the thing.
So, in the Olympic spirit.
I'm sure there's lots of. This is really messed up. I'm sure that there are lots. Sell it, Nate. I'm sure that there are lots of third world countries that are really upset that they can't be a part of this Winter Olympics thing because they just don't have the funding.
Sure.
So if you want to be able to practice, like, say, the luge or something, and you want to really motivate these people to enter the Olympics and give it their all, take, I don't know, what's the stereotype? Ethiopia?
Oh, sure. Why not? A lot of snow there.
You place a giant pizza on a skateboard and shove it down the luge. You will set records. No? Is that not appropriate? Okay, no. That was off color. No. That's not okay. What I was thinking was
I get it.
the long jump. You know what I'm talking about? The skis? The ski long jumps?
yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, if
Ski
you want to
jumping,
motivate
yeah.
people to do that, I think it would be awesome if you know the landing zone, they have to have a huge landing zone depending on how these guys fly and stuff like that.
Sure.
You start the landing zone and you have sections of severity depending on where they land. The first one's a giant shark tank, which means if you muff it, I mean, if you just
End over end. You're
just
just going
end over
right
end,
down
you're
into
a
the-
rolling snowball.
Yeah.
First thing goes into the shark tank.
Nice.
The next one's a little less severe, maybe like a pit with scorpions or just something, and then it just keeps getting down there. The last one maybe would just be some nice cobblestone. Just some cobblestone where if you don't land in the powder, you might break an ankle, you might break a leg, something like that. We're going to motivate our athletes to really give it our all. We're going to break some records.
Wow.
Because
Literally.
most people, okay, they're going to sail it. They may break something or two. They're going to win a medal for their country. Every now and then, there's going to be one person who just bips it.
The pressure's too much and they're shaking as they're coming down the ramp.
Right. Knew they should have done an extra practice run the day before.
Yeah.
You can see it in their eyes and just Boom, Shark Tank. And then it just becomes a whole other event. Swimming in
like
frigid
that.
water,
Yeah.
while you're trying to get away from a hammerhead. And I just think, I don't know, it would just make it more exciting, I think. Because right now it's literally just fly, take off, land. Fly, take off, land. It's one of the most boring things ever, I think.
Yeah.
Everybody sticks it. Now they're going to stick it.
Nice. Now, is there a reason you start with the most severe one and then kind of go down?
Well, because that way it's like the people that really botch it,
You're gonna pay.
you deserve deserve something severe.
If you basically go off and then
the
go
people
straight
that at
down.
least give it their all, they try their hardest. They're like, the worst that could happen is I get like a broken ankle or something.
I think the only problem with that is I'd feel like, okay, after they made the first jump, I'd kind of tune out from there because at that point they jumped the shark. But okay.
Yeah, and I thought the Ethiopia joke was bad.
Yeah, it was, but in a different way.
Yeah, gotcha.
Nice. All right, I got one. Olympic sport swap.
Excuse me.
So you have people at like one end of the Olympic sports, and then people at the other. So you have like the figure skaters and the cross country skiers, and you have them swap sports.
Okay.
And see how they do in each other's place. Or you have...
I'm trying to envision it.
That's the whole thing. It's all about taking them outside of their comfort zone,
Obviously.
and seeing how they do, and then pointing and laughing and being like, "Hey, you're not so great after all, because you may be the world's greatest figure skater, but you suck at moving around in skis."
Michael Phelps sure sucks at curling.
yeah, that'd be even better. Mix
What a chump.
Summer,
have
bring the
the
summer folks in.
versus the winter, and then you have like the figure skater try to outswim Michael Phelps, and then Michael Phelps does the figure skating, and I think it would be a winner.
Yeah,
would
I
watch
agree.
it.
All right.
Fantastic.
So would you roll some dice or something just to see like which ones? All right, we're gonna switch hurdles.
I'm more of an idea person. I
Yeah.
haven't worked out the details
That's right.
quite yet.
Not execution, more of an idea.
Can you imagine some skinny figure skater trying to do that shot put
Oh
thing?
man, that would be fantastic.
Just
His arm gets hyperextended.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
See if those curlers can do the pole vault.
Yeah, have curlers do the 100-meter dash swim or whatever.
Yeah.
I can
Yes.
float real good.
I can do it.
Those behemoths.
Like you, Nate, I was also thinking about ski jumping and how it's boring. Let's be honest, it's just boring.
A little bit.
So I thought about, why don't we make it an audience participation event?
Oh yeah.
My thought is, give the audience...
The audience gets to push.
They don't get to... Well, I'm thinking, let's just give them all paintball guns. And
Yes.
as
As they're coming down the
it's
ramp?
Ski jump paintball, yeah.
Yes.
So in the air, and whoever gets hit the most is...
The winner?
Not the winner.
No.
Yeah, would lose, but
Yeah.
then the person with the least amount
Would get
I was
the-
thinking, but I was
get the
thinking then
highest
too,
marks.
you could color code it. So if you're from America, you're blue, and you could shoot them up with blue. And
That's awesome.
so if the Russian guy has if the Russian guy has more blue on it, then
The
Russia
Russians
loses.
really have it out for Switzerland this year.
So let's bring the audience into it. Let's give everybody a paintball
Nice.
and pelt the.
I like it.
And if real bullets get thrown in the mix, that just adds to the
You
excitement.
never know, and it gets really good if you shoot them in the eye and then they can't see where they're landing.
nice.
And then that just brings so that headshot, that's bonus points right there.
I like it.
That's awesome.
Anyway, that's
Nice.
ski jump paintball.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
I like it.
My event is what it does is it not only would be entertaining to watch, it encourages good television programming, which I think we can all
We appreciate
agree needs to improve a little bit.
Absolutely.
Because frankly, I am so tired of all these networks just phoning it in on certain shows, and they're like, "Hey, so and so, it's a fireman teamed with a dog that talks." I mean, it's just something random and crappy, and it's these shows that maybe go for like 1 or 2 episodes, and then they just get nixed because they're so horrible.
Yeah.
So here's what you do. You take the people that are primarily responsible, like producers, and they're fully aware of this before they start creating the show, that this is the happen. Sure. We're taking this thing full on Hunger Games style.
Yes.
Where what we do is part of their contract in Hollywood says, if your show does not make it past, let's just say, I don't know, what's a fair number? 3 episodes?
Sure.
Because some don't even make it that far. And a lot of them don't make it that far. Some of them just get canceled on the spot. You know, I'm gonna get more extreme. If your show can't make a full season because it's that bad, what we do is every 4 years, we gather you up, we take you to wherever the Olympics are, and we'll also choose some of the leading stars of the cast, too, because they signed on for this project, too. They're just as much to blame as the writers and the producers and everybody else. And we put them in a huge outdoor, let's just say, arena.
Gladiator.
Where the skeet shooting happens.
That's exactly. Yep, I was thinking that same thing.
Skeet shooting with failed producers, writers, directors, and actors. Every 4 years, you will see nothing but pure gold come out of Hollywood. And let's just say, if you don't make it past 1 episode, maybe 2, I say that they be handed big old neon jumpers that they have to wear. And the thing is, baby. And you send all the skeet shooters out at once into this giant field, and everybody just kind of has to run for cover. And if you get tagged, you get tagged. And if if you make it, you live to produce another horrible show. This time, think about how much better that product will be.
That's good.
That's good.
I just think,
You know, if that ever happened, I would start a movement to boycott all of the Disney Channel tween shows so that every single one of those would fail. And then you get to see iCarly and you know, Miley Cyrus might have never even happened.
Hannah Montana would be laying in the snow in Switzerland right now.
That's true.
That would be epic.
Yeah.
So
nice. Now that's good because my third was going to be. I like your idea way better because my third was going to be that one where they ski and then they shoot and then they cross country ski and then they shoot.
Yeah.
Turn that into Hunger Games, right? So it's just whoever's at the end, whoever's.
Now that's not. I was told that's not skeet shooting.
Is that ski shooting? Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah,
okay,
that's it.
So we have the same idea.
Yeah, the
but yours is way better.
That way,
Bring
but the people that are thrown in, they don't get skis.
Yeah.
They don't get skis. They have to huff it. They have to huff it.
Yeah, your idea is way better. Yeah,
it's only fair. That way, if you fail right after the Olympics, you have 3 years to beef up and really get that cardio down, so you at least stand some sort of chance. It's fair. It's fair.
Sure, why not? That's good.
I would guess that the programming would get gradually better and better as it gets closer to the Olympics.
North Korea.
They're just like, we really can't afford to botch this one, guys.
North Korea Olympics. I like it, Nate.
Nice.
Taking the.
I like it. So I've got one more. And this is going to be controversial.
He says with a smirk on his face.
It's going to be controversial.
Well, we haven't had any controversial ones so far.
But bear with me here.
All right.
Strip
Oh,
curling. Think about it.
Well, I guess
you would watch it, right? It would be like a train wreck. A disgusting train wreck. But you would watch it.
Some hairy Northern European woman.
You know, I gotta be honest, Cowan. I think that would make the curlers finally realize how pointless an endeavor their sport is to begin with in the first place. They're like, do I really love this sport enough to strip in front of the entire world?
It's ratings gold.
It could happen.
So how do you well, no, I'm sorry. You're an idea man. You're an idea man. You're not an executioner.
More the visionary, not
You're not an
necessarily
executioner. I'm just curious as to how that
implementer.
works. If you bump the other team out of there,
I have the same question about curling in general.
Sure.
I have no idea how that works. So
I
didn't know
I
that-
just think it would be funny to see those.
It's been a while since I've seen curling.
Those
You don't
cave
actually
women.
bump anybody, right? They don't play on the same.
I think you try and get it in the middle of a target.
It's just you and that guy with the
little
broom, right?
And I think the joke is if a pregnant lady can be on the curling team, it may not be a sport. I think that was the last Olympics.
Yeah,
Is there a pregnant woman?
There was
Last-
a gal who was pregnant.
Wow.
On the curling team.
Working the broom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I was going to say, all it takes is that one person, the first person to just, let go, and their job is done.
Finished?
Their job is finished. And then this furious guy with the broom just,
Guys, I got it. Shuffleboard on ice.
That's never going to work. It's never going to work.
Huge.
Certainly not going to go Olympic.
That's crazy talk.
That's funny.
That's.
I have heard it said, though, it's funny that Americans will make up a sport and then it becomes an Olympic sport and somehow we have all the best people in it.
Right.
Go figure.
Hey, we won the gold.
How does that work?
Well, that is intriguing and atrocious, Cowan, all in one.
When did the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders field a curling team? I don't remember that being a thing.
Who endorsed that?
Did you guys have any others, or
that was it.
I think I'm tapped out with deadly skeet shooting. That
was a good one.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining us for this episode of Pop Mockers. Special thanks to Johnny Cowan and the Royaltons for our intro and outro music. What Olympic sport would you like to see added to the itinerary of Olympic events? Let us know at popmockers.com/contact. And if you enjoyed the show, please leave us a review on the iTunes store. We love getting reviews, and it helps boost our visibility. For show notes, including links and videos mentioned during the show, visit popmockers.com. For comics, videos, and more original and entertaining podcasts, visit breakroomstudios.com.